It's the final game of pre-season for Manchester United. Tonight we're up north of the border. Tawdry is the destination tonight. It's against Aberdeen. It's a benefit game for Neil Simpson, one of the vital cogs in the Aberdeen machine under Sir Alex Ferguson. And talking of the manager, we can hear from him now. He's talking to Helen McConnell.
Well, Sir Alex, just last week we were in Gothenburg, where you brought this little club all the way to the European Cup winners final. And just tell us, is it like being home from home here tonight?
Well, I had 8.5 great years here. I loved Aberdeen. My boys grew up here, really, and they always regard Aberdeen as their home, really. Although they were born in Glasgow, they were young when they came up here. And it's a fantastic city to live in, and a great club. When I was here, a fantastic football club.
And we know how much you mean to Neil throughout his career, but just what did he mean to you as a player? Well,
Neil was the first signing I made here. He was 16 years of age. He's from a little place out in the country called Newmarket, and we was a friendly game against a local team to sort of commemorate him signing for Aberdeen, and there was about 2,000 people came to the game, and he was a fantastic, committed, honest professional. That's what Neil was, and he was an integral part of the team who won the cup that time against Real Madrid. And he and Neil Cooper were a solid centre midfield. I know there's some talented players at the time with Gordon Strachan and Peter Weir, but they were really integral to the success of the team.
And of course, I'm sure you had no doubt in your mind that you would bring your squad here tonight for this fitting tribute.
Yeah, I think so. I think that it was... it's difficult for us to get dates for anything like this, but with the suggestion I made was International Week. We have a lot of players away, of course, but still have a strong squad at home, and therefore I thought it was a decent time to play, because there's actually some of our lads are still needing the game, before next Monday's start to the season.
Well, of course, the big news for Manchester United fans tonight will be that Darren Fletcher is among the squad. Can you tell us a bit about that? Well,
it's been a quiet progress for the boy. He joined in the training a couple of weeks ago, and it's one of these situations you say, well, let's see how he does, because he's had a real difficult time in the last year, and therefore I wasn't really placing too much hope in it, and let's see how he does. But he's got to a stage now where he feels he needs a game. He's been training really well. I let him join in the Scotland squad this week for their game, and he wanted a bit of a game, so I said, well, come up to Aberdeen, you can go back and join up with Scotland after it. So we'll give him maybe 20-25 minutes.
Well, I'm sure everybody would be glad to see him back. Just one more question. Is it as cold up here as what you remember?
And this is, by the way, this is winter in the summer here. You know that. I remember when Maradona made his debut for Argentina. It was the 6th of June at Hampden Park. It was a beautiful day in Aberdeen. It was snowing in Aberdeen. It was like a beautiful day in Glasgow, snowing in Aberdeen. That's true. 6th of June.
Just like about now. Well, good luck tonight.
Okay, thanks.
Well, he's clearly absolutely delighted to have Darren Fletcher back in the squad tonight, isn't he?
That's a great bit of news, and I'm sure every Man United fan that's watching this programme will be thinking the exact same thing. Shocked like everybody else. I'm shocked. As I said earlier, when I went in the dressing room, and he was like, what are you doing? He said, I'm playing.
It's so important, though, that we don't expect too much too soon, isn't it?
Of course not.
He's been out for 9 months now. Yeah. We're looking just to see him back on the pitch, kick that ball around, and be back in the squad, get the banter flowing.
If he was back for us playing by Christmas, I'd be over the moon. Yeah. That's an old stupid saying, isn't it, really? I'd be delighted.
Sometimes we wish you'd perhaps go to the moon.
I've been over the moon, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well,
thank you, yeah. I'll get you back for that.
I'm sure you will. OK, let's have a look at the teams tonight, starting with Manchester United, of course. And the big headline is that Darren Fletcher is on the bench tonight. Wonderful to see him back. 9 months out with that chronic bowel condition. We wish him all the very best and hope that tonight is the first real positive step on the road to recovery and getting back into that first team within the next few months. He's on the bench, though. To start tonight, we see a few of the first-team regulars, the likes of David De Gea, who starts in goal, Rio Ferdinand at centre-half, Scholes and Powell and Anderson will be in the centre of the park, with Ryan Giggs teaming up with Kiko Makeda and also Bebe in a front three. Nice to see some youngsters in the back as well. Michael Keane, who played 90 minutes against Vålerenga and Hanover, he starts at right back. Tyler Blackett, who played over 2 hours of football on the tour, he starts at left back, with Tom Thorpe, the young England 19 captain, joining Rio Ferdinand at the heart of the Manchester United defence. On the bench, a couple more youngsters, and of course Dwight York, Quinton Fortune and Clayton Blackmore back for one night only with Manchester United.
It's great for the people of Aberdeen. I remember the last time we were up here and the game had only started about 2 minutes and Ryan Giggs went to take a corner kick and the place erupted. I thought that's unusual for you, Ryan. Usually when you're away from home you get a right going over. But it's great that they're playing, and I'm sure it'll be a thrill for all the people here.
Let's look at Aberdeen. The main name for them tonight is, of course, Neil Simpson. It's his benefit game here at Pittodrie, and he does start the game. He's going to ceremoniously kick the game off. Not sure how much he's actually going to play because he's recently been recovering from a back injury, but he's going to start anyway. He's surrounded by some current players from Aberdeen and also some former players in the squad, namely the four on the bench, including Dougie Bell, Doug Rugby, also Brian Irvin and Steve Tosh, all former players at Aberdeen, and a few of them there sharing that success with Neil Simpson under Sir Alex Ferguson when Aberdeen won the Cup Winners' Cup.
If they four players go on that pitch, I'm going on as well. No, it's just great. That's four players that played with him when they won the Cup Winners' Cup, so it's great to see in that fact. But when you look at Naismith, he was at Everton, wasn't he?
He was, yeah, that's right, Gary Naismith.
Yeah, he's now at Aberdeen. Anyway, we're looking forward to a great night, and I'm so delighted about Darren Fletcher. You wouldn't believe what great news that is.
Sometimes these pre-season games are about the football, about trying to see players get up to speed in terms of fitness. Tonight, though, is very much about a celebration. We are here to really enjoy this evening in the company of Neil Simpson, who had so much success here at Aberdeen as a player, but also his manager, Sir Alex Ferguson, coming home, if you like. After 8.5 glorious years at Aberdeen, he's brought the success down south of the border with Manchester United. We look back over some of the former United players who had glory under Sir Alex, the likes of Dwight York, Quinton Fortune and Clayton Blackmore. Also looking to the future with some of the youngsters at United who are taken to the field. And a chance to really celebrate the success of these two clubs under one great man, Sir Alex Ferguson, of course. And Neil Simpson will now walk out through this guard of honour as the fans here at Pittodrie spell out Neil Simpson's nickname, Simmy. And all the players from both sides just looking to give him the reception that he deserves. And of course Sir Alex Ferguson as well, much loved in these parts.
Yeah, you'd be amazed at the number of people that come down from Aberdeen to games at Old Trafford. We'll be calling for the manager.
Here he is, the main man tonight, Neil Simpson, 23 years at Aberdeen, first as a player, then as a coach, and as head of youth development as well. Someone who is very much part of the DNA of this club and was part of this great team when they won so many trophies under Sir Alex Ferguson. Certainly the Don's finest hour, and he was the main man in the centre of the park as well. What an evening for him to enjoy, not just him but also his family as well, and indeed for the man who brought him so much success, Sir Alex Ferguson.
Ah, great moment for him. You heard him earlier on talking. Is it to you he spoke to? Yeah, you were up here.
It was Mark Sullivan.
Oh, Mark Sullivan.
Too, yeah.
And I'm saying, when would you ever get Aberdeen, or rather Manchester United, to come up here? Obviously the manager showing great faith to players and people that done great things for him.
It's a very misty night here in Pittodrie. Menacing weather surrounding this coastal ground.
Well, let's hope it stays clear because it's not so clever, is it?
And in terms of Neil Simpson as a player, a real never say die player, somebody who really got stuck in for the cause. Someone who was a combative midfielder, made sure that he made his mark in matches, but he could play as well.
Yeah, made his mark in matches, you're right, I remember him well. A bit after me, but he was a terrific player to have on your side.
And these are moments for people to really savour, especially for Neil Simpson tonight, because the playing days are long gone. 50 years old now, very much bringing on the youth of Aberdeen. Over 300 appearances in the shirt of the Dons. And now tonight he gets the chance to line up opposite Rio Ferdinand for the coin toss.
Is that one of our lads down there? You can't see him off the camera. Is that one of your lads on the camera down there? Because everything's getting thrown at him.
Yes, the crowd here comically throwing the little bits of paper they had to write Simmy in the air, and now our cameraman Tom is getting pelted with all kinds of things, all in good humour. He's got a smile on his face anyway. I've seen people throw worse things than that at him. Yeah. Neil Simpson, though.
Neil Simpson looks to me as if he's going to play the first couple of minutes. Good on you, son.
Indeed, it's his big night.
Why don't you just have a shot at goal? Go on.
Well, I wonder whether he will. He might ask David De Gea to just come off his line a little bit and
chip one over
see if he can welly one in. Well, the Dons will kick us off. A massive night for one of Aberdeen's favourite sons, and for the Dons' former manager as well. Neil Simpson ceremoniously kicks off the game.
And going off Neil Simpson, that's lovely. That.
Due to injury, that will be all that he actually does in this game tonight. What a massive occasion it is for him, though. All these fans here to celebrate his career, and he gets his moment in the limelight. A massive part of the past, present and future of this club. Now he can sit back and enjoy the action. Timed out at 36 seconds, I think, Paddy, so he got his 36 seconds of fame.
He's 50 years of age. Good luck to him.
So now the game can start. The first substitution of the game. Stephen Hughes has come on to replace.
It's a massive header from Paul Scholes there. They must be 30 yards out, playing it back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I must point out tonight as well, we're seeing squad numbers being shed for the night by many of the Manchester United players, including Paul Scholes, because he's there in his famous number 18 shirt, which nowadays is donned by Ashley Young. Scholes is normally 22, but for one night only, all those Scholes 18 shirts that you've got in your closet, pull them out and stick them on in front of the telly. Of 90 minutes, incidentally, tonight we will see penalties, so who knows where this game could go. I might warn you as well that my last two MUTV commentaries have finished 0-0, so here's hoping I do actually see a goal tonight.
I think there's a strong possibility you will.
First early touch for Rob Milsom in the centre of the park for Aberdeen, number 4 for them, and captain now that Neil Simpson's gone off. That's Russell Anderson, from a Derby player. Ball picked up by Ryan Giggs, and all the way back to Rio Ferdinand. Michael Keane there. Ball taken away from him by Mitchell Megginson. Young player up front for Aberdeen, made his debut in the Europa League for the Dons. Here's Bebe, wearing the number 10 shirt today. Scholes back to Bebe, who's going to start on this right-hand side with front 3 for United today, with Makeda through the middle and Giggs on the left-hand side of the front 3. Here's Nick Powell wearing 6, out to Tyler Blackett, and now here is Makeda. Powell's made his run into the middle. Scholes.
Yeah, just keeping the ball probing. Can we get an opening?
Nick Powell just let the ball run across him. Might drop to Anderson here, looking for Bebe. Early chance to shoot. Goalkeeper did really well. Jamie Langfield. Bebe's cross eventually blocked. Ball picked out by Tom Thorpe. Nice to see him getting some minutes for Manchester United tonight. England under-19 captain, as they were out in the European Championships at the start of the summer. Played in that team alongside Michael Keane and also Sam Johnston, both involved tonight. Anderson. Powell back to him.
That's good play, good passing again.
Makeda. Michael Keane.
Oh, you're asking a lot.
Makes the run forward. He nearly got there.
He's asking a lot.
Scholes.
Paul, what are you doing?
Michael Payton was the player on the end of that challenge. Ferdinand into Giggs. Powell. Ferdinand taking a chance but doing it well. And finally Giggs. Ball through for Makeda, who's onside. Goalkeeper slipped here, and he was fortunate that Russell Anderson didn't.
Yeah, but Anderson tried to play offside and he wasn't. He could have been caught very easily. That's why the goalie came.
You can probably tell by our pictures here tonight that it is very misty here at Pittodrie. There was a moment about an hour and a half before the game got underway where a few people around here were getting quite concerned. We are right on the coast, so the mist really can come in and envelop this ground. Some high ground around this stadium, so it's very easy sometimes to lose visibility. Here is Powell. Makeda runs alongside him. Ball just asking a bit too much.
Yeah, he just overhit it.
Sharp save from Jamie Langfield, and what a story he has as well. Suffered a seizure in May last year, needed brain surgery as well, missed out on most of last season, and he's come back in to become the Aberdeen #1 all over again at the start of this new campaign. He's played both games for them in the league so far. Here come the Dons. Megginson with the ball, feeds Payton. Options in the middle, that will be deflected, that will be a corner.
The Aberdeen fans delighted. It's Aberdeen have got that far up the pitch. Yeah, just a little deflection takes it away. As I said, the Aberdeen fans delighted. They're going to play it into the box. As now, oh, it's a chance. Oh, he's headed it the wrong way.
Two of them got in each other's way there, didn't they?
That was an opportunity.
Reynolds, up from the back, was the one closest to it, and De Gea in the end comes out and claims.
Yeah, good catch. I'd like to see a goalie coming off the line and catching him.
David De Gea, who was involved in the Olympics, of course, for Spain. Scholes tucks it back to Thorpe. Here's Tyler Blackett. We saw on the first leg of the tour, the South Africa and China games. Thorpe to Anderson. Bebe. Anderson again.
Also one down the left-hand side for Blackett. Made a good run.
Towards Nick Powell. It's taken off him very quickly. And the referee didn't like the challenge then on Chris Clark. A lot of people thought he'd be a striker when he was signed by Sir Alex Ferguson, but the manager making the point early on in Nick Powell's involvement in the tour that he would be a central midfielder. Thorpe takes the safe option. Well, I know he loves coming back to this part of the world. 8.5 hugely successful years with Aberdeen. 10 trophies, including the Cup Winners' Cup, the Super Cup, 3 league titles, 4 Scottish Cups and a League Cup as well. Unparalleled success up here at Pittodrie.
Incredible record.
Blackett just losing out there to Johnny Hayes. Only one in the middle, that's Payton. Hayes tries to find him, then goes alone.
Well, that took a deflect. Did that hit him in the arm? I'm not sure it did, but it just took a wicked deflection and the goalkeeper was lost. See the goalkeeper, he's totally lost with this deflection. Oh.
It's off Tom Thorpe, wasn't it? More defending to do here for Manchester United. In it comes. Oh, and it was a miss-hit. It was Mitchell Megginson, the 20-year-old Scottish striker.
That's a free kick. You can't do that.
Foul by Bebe.
Yeah, you can't do that. They're pushing the back. going to go back into the box again.
Referee tonight, incidentally, is Kevin Clancy. And in comes a free kick from Milson. That's a really good header. Generated a lot of power there, just couldn't get it on target. Peyton it was again.
Yeah, that's a good header, but no trouble with the goalkeeper. Not a problem for him.
In the end, perhaps he got the contact a little wrong, didn't he? This game is the final pre-season match for Manchester United after the DHL 2012 pre-season tour came to an end in Germany against Hanover.
Good ball from Scholes.
Powell.
You've seen him as well. He's
Bebe
hit this.
Looked to tee himself up. It might drop here for Ryan Giggs.
Oh, what a chance.
Right foot from Ryan. And it's wide, but didn't look like it missed by much.
No, it was good football by United as well. Good ball from Bebe across to Giggs. He caught it cleanly. Not going to hit it much better than Ryan hit it. But it goes the wrong side of the post. He's hit that great, not very far away, is it? Hit that well with his right foot. I thought that was going to sail into the net.
In fact, we couldn't see that from our angle originally, but that hit the post. Well, that's the closest we've come. Both teams with efforts already in the first 10 minutes or so. Giggs, who wore the captain's armband for Team GB at the Olympics. Real festival of sport it turned out to be for all those in GB colours. Anderson.
Having a look at the ball, United.
Wilson just took that away from Nick Powell, who drops into Anderson's spot just to cover him. Ferdinand to Powell. Brings it forward to Makeda. Oh, that was
that's a wild swing, that
was a tasty challenge that from Rob Milsom, former Fulham player. Normally wears the number 8 shirt for Aberdeen, but that's been put on by Neil Simpson tonight, as it is his big night. Giggs. Scholes. Michael Keane sets off.
Oh, good touch.
Mitchell Megginson.
Touch by Megginson, yeah.
Intelligent header away, especially considering he's an attacking-minded player. On this left-hand side of a front three, really. Powell.
Oh, great effort. Just couldn't keep it down. That was a good effort. I'm not sure anybody expects him to shoot here. Just a little opening and bang. Over the bar.
Fascinating character, Nick Powell, because he's someone who really doesn't like the limelight in terms of doing interviews and things like that. He's very much adjusting to becoming a Manchester United player, but certainly has confidence when he's out there. Always looking to set the play up and also to have a go when it's possible to do so. Scored a remarkable goal in the League Two playoff final against Cheltenham at Wembley, which helped sort of catapult him to fame, although United knew all about him way before that. Youngster who's been at Crewe since the age of 5. You remember what you were doing at 5?
Just don't remember what I was doing yesterday. 5, no.
Here's Scholes.
Oh, well played, Paul.
Knew that he had players after him. Bebe just couldn't read the touch.
No, that's correct.
Mist and fog up here in Scotland really is still rolling into this ground as players and rather fans are still rolling in here as well. You were saying to me before that fans in Scotland always turn up late to games. They're doing so today.
Yeah, they always turn up late. And this is a terrific crowd. You heard Craig Brown earlier on saying they only get 14,500 for their league matches.
Well, if these fans turned up late tonight, they missed the cameo of Neil Simpson, of course, who kicked the game off, had the first 30 seconds on the pitch, and will watch the rest of the game from the dugout. He was so pleased when Sir Alex Ferguson said that without hesitation that he'd bring Manchester United up here. Powell to Giggs, looking for Makeda, and the challenge in the end was Gary Naismith's. Makeda sort of bundled him out of the way. You mentioned the attendance, normally about 14,000. They drew 0-0 with Ross County here at the weekend. Only had 14,000 here. Tonight is a sellout, which is around 22,000, as Bebe wins a free kick for United.
I watched the first game against Celtic, and the goalkeeper, unfortunately, Langfield, made an error that Judah saved. And it finished up 1-0 for Celtic.
Clearly never seen me in goal.
Well, I can imagine, can't I?
Michael Keane. Nick Powell takes over. It'll be fun a bit later on to see Mr. York, Mr. Fortune, Mr. Blackmore all back in a Manchester United shirt, albeit a white one tonight, the new away kit for this coming season. Stephen Hughes across to Russell Anderson, Aberdeen born and bred. Youngster in the youth system here at the club. He became captain, then he moved away to Sunderland after about 300 appearances. He re-signed for the Dons in January. Here's Megginson. Gary Naismith. Now Chris Clark. To take on Michael Keane. Hayes just ran away from Clark. Good ball. Bebe digs it out for Giggs. Just squirmed away from him. Blackett had charged forward. Almost went a bit wrong for United there.
Plenty of room to make up for it.
Thorpe. Powell to Michael Keane. Giggs just dispossessed. Clark to Milsom.
Well done, Ryan.
Giggs bites back. Anderson does too. Past that by Powell. Back with Johnny Hayes. Played in England with Reading and Leicester. Still only 25 years of age. It's a ball forward for Megginson, but that will
go for a throw
way out.
Aberdeen United are hustling them every time they get the ball.
It's Archie Knox next to Craig Brown. That's the managerial duo here at Pittodrie these days. And actually, Neil Simpson mentions Archie Knox and the late Teddy Scott as well as the two biggest influences on his career alongside Sir Alex Ferguson. Archie Knox, who had a spell as assistant manager to Sir Alex, both at Aberdeen and at Manchester United, of course. Coach with massive footballing pedigree. Clark.
asking a lot there. Asking a lot.
Higginson just slipping there as he tried to get onto the ball.
It's a shame they got there anyway. A bit too high for him.
Thorpe. Howell drops it back to him. Scholes here just drops so deep to pick up possession, doesn't he?
Not playing 10.5, is he?
Well, he's not at the moment, but he might as well be where he is. But he just loves to get the ball there and just
he does.
Look up and spot someone making one of those diagonal runs. Howell losing it in the middle of the park. Got it back momentarily. Nice work from Chris Clark. It's Johnny Hayes now, and now Stephen Hughes takes over. Back to Hayes. Ball Scholes at right back. The cross is in, and it's easy for De Gea.
Yeah, it's a nice cross in, but straight into the goalkeeper's arms.
Scholes wins it back. Just clipped there by Clark. That's offside against Kiko Makeda.
Free kick a bit too quick.
Higginson out to Payton. Back here to Clark. Be a confidence boost for Aberdeen to get a goal tonight, because they haven't scored in their opening 2 league games. Wilson here up against Thorpe. A 1-0 defeat against Celtic. A 0-0 draw against Ross County, so psychologically that first goal of the campaign would be good for them. Maybe with a challenge there, and that will be a goal kick.
Always available, Paul, isn't it?
Certainly not somebody who shies away from the ball.
Loves the ball.
I wonder if that little spell in retirement has made him crave playing with that ball even more. He knows the time left in the team is perhaps at a premium, although the way he plays sometimes you wonder if he's going to go on forever.
Go on, son.
Tyler Blackett. Look at this. Great run from him. Looks for a white shirt in the middle. Just couldn't find one though. He's going to stay forward. Giggs into Anderson. Just enough red shirts back. Powell with
a lunge with his left foot.
Can't do that, lunge, wasn't it? Just a little warning from Kevin Clancy, the ref.
Yeah, just a lunge. Could be in trouble after the Premier League match.
Smith into Hughes. Runners going forward, including Hayes. Well watched though by Tom Thorpe.
Yeah, it was well played, Tom Thorpe.
Michael Keane a bit frustrated there wasn't the right movement in front of him. And after 23 minutes of this game, we've had our first invasion of seagulls flying across the Tawdry skyline here. Remember when we were here 4 years ago, all of a sudden there was an infestation. Here goes Makeda.
Needs a bit of support.
No one really up with him. The goalkeeper's giving it straight though to Nick Powell, whose diving header came very close.
I'll tell you something, I think the goalie's made a terrific save there from Makeda. He tries to chip it into the far corner. It might have been in. Got a hand to it, the goalkeeper. But Powell just can't direct it. This is a good opportunity. Well, I think why try from that angle? Well done, goalkeeper.
Nick Powell's already scored for Manchester United in a reserve game at Scunthorpe. Here he is again trying to find Anderson, who gets it back. Tyler Blackett. Scholes to Makeda, back to Anderson.
Yeah, they've been pushed back that far. Aberdeen have now made their own goal area very populated.
Giggs was looking for Blackett there. Aberdeen having to put so many players behind the ball. There are very few attacking options for them.
They're having to work hard because United's passing has been very good actually. You're chasing, it's difficult.
Bebe back to Michael Keane. Tom Thorpe's kept his run going and he's almost playing centre forward here. Just trots back into position now.
No, he went to one game. And he did get...
Powell to Bebe. Bebe. That's Michael Keane here in support. Quickly gives it back to Bebe, who's trying to wriggle away from Naismith, who does very well there.
Did well, Naismith. He's lost it, but he's not done so well now.
Scholes.
Is there a shot on here?
Giggs maybe. Makeda. Towards Powell, back to Giggs.
Too many passes. Look, somebody at the shot there.
No one really fancied having a dig there, and Paul Scholes has a dig of a different kind.
Yeah.
Comical boos for Mr. Scholes.
He's going to get a warning from the referee, and he just left his body there. He was a bit cute, Paul. Paul knew exactly what he was doing. Don't do it again, I'll have to book you. The reaction from the crowd was funny. I think he knows exactly what he's doing there, Paul.
Well, he spent years running away from that kind of challenge. So he knows exactly what to do to stop players in their tracks. Still a wonderful player though, isn't he?
Without question.
It was interesting to hear your interview with him a while back when you said he was the best midfielder you'd ever seen at United. Yeah. And you, all of a sudden, saw him go a beautiful shade of Manchester United red.
Red, correct.
Here's Bebe. Looking for Makeda and finding a corner.
They might have taken him on there, one against one. If you lose it, it doesn't matter. If you get past them, the rewards are great.
Still just 22, Bebe. His last competitive appearance in February of last year. Giggs now gets the boos.
That's the nicest possible way.
And it comes from Giggs. Easily nodded away in the end, but Blackett will try and retrieve.
Big long legs.
Managed to win it back twice there, but then lost it again. And Aberdeen now with a counter-attack here. Could be interesting if Megginson can take it on, and he can't.
No, he can't control it. It was too quick.
Good pace to this game, though, isn't it?
There is from United. Aberdeen just finding it a bit difficult at times. It's the first time they've had possession for more than a couple of passes.
It's Naismith, little dink into the middle, and
oh dear me,
Payton just couldn't quite find the right touch.
Oh, try to guide that towards the goal, but it never happened for him. If he connects properly with this, it could have caused a problem for the goalkeeper. He doesn't get enough on it.
Well, the big kick-off in the Barclays Premier League is just a few days away now. Monday night, United get the campaign underway at Goodison Park. Your channel, of course, the best place for unrivaled build-up. Live football for you as well on Saturday. The new Under-21 League gets underway here on MUTV. Manchester United will play their first game in this revamped competition. That is live for you Saturday morning, away at Stoke City. It's a free kick to United. We also have goals from the under-18s opening game of the campaign as well in that programme on Saturday morning. Stoke City, incidentally, the nearest away game for Manchester United in the under-18s and under-21s this year. A revamped league. We'll see the likes of Southampton and Tottenham and teams like that taking on United over the course of the season. We'll be catching up with the academy manager as well, Brian McClare, in a couple of days' time to see what he makes of the changes, what we can look forward to in terms of the two sides on display during the campaign to come. Here's Anderson. He's going to shoot here, is he? Maybe thought about it, perhaps caught in two minds, which is why the pass didn't come off. Megginson to Milson, well read by Powell.
Could be in trouble here with Bebe.
Makeda is miles offside if it goes, but Bebe won't give it up.
A better ball from Powell, and he was in for a shot at goal. He's just scooped it up in the air and too far ahead of Bebe.
Well, the problem there was Makeda went too early and Powell perhaps gave it a bit late. Either way, United couldn't make a breakthrough of that Aberdeen defence. Look at that from Rio Ferdinand, just composed. And now Scholes with Makeda again, just straying a little bit too far. And he does play on the shoulder of the last man, Kiko Makeda, and always that risk of going offside, but if you're not caught offside, then you're in. Bebe just not managing to keep that one. Aberdeen with no one forward really there. 5 white shirts surrounding Payton as he had possession. Warm applause around Pitodrias.
That's the 4 older players, I think, that played in the European Cup one.
Yes, they're not all 4 of them European Cup Winners' Cup winners, but 3 of them are. And the 4th in the piece is Steve Tosh, a more recent Aberdeen player.
Asking a lot, Paul.
The likes of Dougie Bell, Doug Rugby and Brian Irvin, who all won honours under Sir Alex Ferguson. And there's a smiley face, Dwight York.
Always got a smile on his face, Dwight.
Back wearing the Manchester United crest. Nice work there by Payton. And towards Hayes, and Scholes with the challenge.
Oh, a great challenge from Paul. Better challenge that.
He's got lots of room now to weave his magic. Tyler Blackett, the recipient this time, signed a professional contract this summer with the club. The ball is lost though here to Aberdeen. They've got a chance for a break where Blackett normally is. Hayes. Oh, is that a foul? Referee not interested.
No, he didn't. He slipped and fell.
Giggs loses out. Powell wins it back, and now it's Bebe. Scholes delicately into Ryan Giggs. Makeda sets off here. No one in the middle for Manchester United, so he's going to have to keep it for a while. Giggs just trying to slip it through towards Powell. Gets another go here, Ryan Giggs. So crowded. Scholes might have a bang though. It is Scholes!
Oh, tremendous strike. Just past the post. Do they think it's a corner kick? Ryan Giggs thinks it might have touched someone. I'm not so sure, but I'll tell you something. The goalie's very late and gone down for it. It did. It might have touched the central defender of Aberdeen. Watch when he hits this. Aberdeen lad got a touch on it. I think he did.
As emphatic an appeal for a corner as it was a shot.
It was past the goalkeeper before he knew it.
Referee was unmoved though. How many times have we seen Paul Scholes on this pre-season campaign winding up, looking like he was going to shoot, fans screaming for him to have a go. know why I'm getting so excited when these shots are raining towards goal. We know it's going to be 0-0 because I'm in the commentary box. So
no, it's not. It's going to be ahead by now. Aberdeen are working hard to contain them.
These kind of games, though, are very refreshing, I think, in pre-season, because in under a week's time we'll be into the stressy games in football, won't we?
And the pressure's on everyone.
Straight away, if United drop points at Goodison, it'll be City's title in all the papers, and the pressure is on from kick one of the season, isn't it? Tonight, a final chance to really enjoy the game without too much stress.
Did well for a buck. Did well, awesome. Oh.
Almost went a bit wrong. Giggs back out to Blackett. Powell. Bebe trying to steal in there. Enough red shirts back though to thwart him.
Well to keep that in.
Yeah, it's gone out in the end. Ten minutes to go to the break. United with the best of the chances so far. Although we have seen Aberdeen make some forays towards David De Gea's goal. Nice work by Chris Clark.
Can he get this cross in?
Only one to hit.
Nobody there. Oh, that's not a good header.
Mitchell Megginson it is on the end of it here. The problem Aberdeen have had, though, only one player in the box really, so the cross has to be spot on to him. There is Payton. Nicely worked. Stephen Hughes running through. Blackett's challenge falls to Megginson, and Thorpe just about digs it out.
That was a great challenge by Thorpe. They had to win it.
Anderson. Makeda having to sprint after that one.
Yeah. There's a bit of support as well.
Support comes from Giggs. And now Makeda. Bebe. Was he caught? Referee says no.
He was caught. That was a free kick, ref.
Makeda. Left foot. Just sliced that a little. He's seen a lot of the ball in this game so far, Bebe. Just 7 Manchester United appearances since his big move to the club. A couple of goals mixed in there as well. Lone spell at Besiktas last season. Only a few appearances before a nasty cruciate knee ligament injury. Just about shaking off the hobble after that challenge. Now here's Naismith. Megginson tries to whip one in towards Payton again. It doesn't find Aberdeen's number 10. Scholes taking a bit of a chance with Hayes, who's won it back and has scored. Well, it was a gift in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Hayes pickpocketing Paul Scholes, and the opening goal of the game goes to the Dons.
Well, he thinks it's too easy, Paul, doesn't he? You're Paul Scholes, I'm going to chase you down. And he gets a reward for it. He'll not be happy, Paul, that's for sure. Well, he's chased down. All fairness to Hayes, he keeps going, keeps at him.
Well, we're not used to seeing that. But although Johnny Hayes didn't celebrate too much there, it'll be a nice feather in his cap. Just 25 years of age, a midfielder who will no doubt have looked up to the likes of Paul Scholes and Ryan Giggs during his career. You can hear the crowd just digesting what's happened as Scholes loses again. In a fight this time with Peyton. Hughes. Plenty forward here. Peyton leaves it. Nice touch from Megginson. Hayes forgot to take the ball with him. Five minutes to the break then. It's not going to be 0-0.
No. They want to make up for it, Paul.
Here he is. Tom Thorpe comes forward. Powell. Makeda. Scholes. Powell again. And Tyler Blackett going to take on the scorer of the only goal, Johnny Hayes. Beaten him here. So beaten himself. Was he brought down though? He was, says the referee.
He's a bit fortunate because I think he had lost it as well. He was running away from him. And maybe the little nudge on him maybe done that. There's the little left-hander going out there. The left hand going out and dragging him down.
Not too much in that.
No, not too much.
Fair to say.
Players are always going to go down when that happens, isn't they? Somebody ahead of this.
Giggs whips it over. Two Aberdeen players combined to clear. Bebe thought about the overhead. Powell loses it to Peyton. And then Thorpe tees him up a little. Aberdeen break on here. It's 4 on 4. Megginson will chase this one down. Powell, though, has got back and has done well there to find his teammate Thorpe. De Gea almost taking a chance. Nice from Giggs.
Nice one from a chase.
Wonder what he's made of the first half then.
He'd be quite happy, I'm sure. He'd be delighted his team's winning.
How he would relish a battle with Paul Scholes in the centre of the park. And at 50 years of age, Neil Simpson quite possibly won't be the oldest player we see on show today. Doug Rugby could well come on for Aberdeen. He is 56 years of age these days. Centre half and left back.
Played for Chelsea as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Scotland too in his day. Now Rio Ferdinandez won the ball illegally, says the referee, and Rio's not too pleased about that.
He just put his hand on his shoulder. That's what the free kick's for. Just watch him just put his hand on his shoulder here. That's the free kick.
Playful jeers from the crowd after Rio rather bounced the ball into the ground. Bit too much from Mark Reynolds, but his team still have the ball. Chris Clark. Gary Naismith with a cross. It's off Michael Keane for a corner. Chance for Aberdeen here to try and extend their lead as we head towards the final minute of this first half. Megginson with a cross in. A dangerous flick at the near post, and it's just over the crossbar. It was Payton again who's been busy this half.
Terrific header. If that stays down, I think that goes in the back of the net. Not so sure the game to get close to it. Yeah, if that stayed down, it would be much more difficult.
He's certainly been lively up there tonight. The Aberdeen number 10. Spent last season on loan at Stockport.
Very tight.
Very animated out there as well, Payton. He's desperate to score against United. It may well be because he might be replaced at half-time. Expecting a lot of changes during the course of this game because of the size of the two squads.
You're not going to get the older ones coming on and playing 45 minutes, surely.
Powell for Michael Keane. That's just gone out. Might be the last attack of this half. Not too much to add on. Well, considering the amount of possession that Manchester United have had in this first period, rather surprising the only goal of the game has actually gone to the home side Aberdeen. Johnny Hayes benefiting from some overconfidence from Paul Scholes in his own penalty area. Before that, though, United had come closest to opening the scoring when Ryan Giggs hit the post with a shot with his right foot, and Nick Powell sent a header just wide after good work from Kiko Makeda. All smiles, though, from Neil Simpson at half-time, who's enjoyed his moment in the spotlight. And at the break, he'll be enjoying the scoreline too. It's Aberdeen 1, Manchester United 0.